Hi there, it's Donna from Tuffy Crafting. I have today discovered a new crafter on YouTube. It is Iced Images, a fantastic crafter. She sounds like she comes from the southeast of England like me, so that's always nice to hear a familiar accent. And this was the card that she made. Well, I made this one, but from her channel, and I absolutely love it. I've kept mine quite basic. I'm sure once I've made a few more of these, I can just adapt the style. But I love this. I've been trying to fiddle about with kind of aperture cards. So I did this the other day. That's a bit rubbish. I just wanted something that popped out a bit more. So I'm doing a blog hop this weekend with two of my lovely crafty friends, Crafty Karen Designs and Vicky Lou Designs. And I thought I would, because the theme is nature, I thought I would take this and then create something very similar with that theme. And I'm probably just going to go down the flowers theme again. I did want to actually make a manly one, but I don't really think I could use a map as nature really. So I'm going to have to find something else. So I'm going to have a bit of a rummage in my paper stash. Now I think it's going to have to be Fine Art Floral again, which was yesterday's or the day before yesterday's video, but I need a big piece of it. And because we're getting close to the end of a catalogue, I have only got teeny tiny bits left, so I'm going to have to go with Fine Art Floral again. So I think what I'll use is this for the front of my card, and because I'm not as keen on this one, I'm going to use the back of that as a layer or as a mat and then put that on top. So the card is 5x7. So you need a piece of A4 cardstock. I've got thick Whisper White here. I think when you've got lots of layers and things going on, you need something that's quite thick. So I'm just going to trim the short side to 7 inches. I only deal with inches, so if you're thinking, oh, what's the centimetres? I don't know. I don't deal with centimetres. Probably about 18, but I don't do it just because it just gets all too small. So 7 inches by 10 inches. So the long side, trim that down to 10 inches. And then on that long side, score it at 5 inches. And then you've got your card base. Now I've got my camera quite low down today, so you're not really seeing everything, but all the detailed bits and pieces I'll make sure is in shot. So there is my card base, and I'm just going to fold that over and burnish that score line. And then with my DSP, I need a piece that is, get this round the right way, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I normally use 1/8 increments, but for this one, because I want to see some of the paper, I'm actually going 1/4 inch increments. That's not normally my style, but I am this time. So that will go on there like that. And then I love the colours in this DSP. Absolutely love it. I don't know what way, that way I think. I love all of the different colours. So this will be 4.5 across. Just want to make sure I've got enough there by 6.5. Yep, just about. So 4.5 by 6.5. And then whatever colour cardstock you want to use is entirely up to you. You can pick out any of these. So we'll just layer those like that. So please go and have a look at Iced Images YouTube channel, as well as checking out my blog link, which is in the description bar, and also going to have a look at Karen and Victoria's projects for today. Lots for you to look at, and you won't be disappointed. So if you're watching this on the day that I upload this, which is Sunday, the 28th of March, and it might be a craft day for you, it might be a relaxing day for you, where you're just chilling, go and have a look at what these very, very talented ladies have made. So there's that. I'm just going to put that to one side for now. And looking at this, I need to decide what colour card I want inside. We've got Poppy Parade here. This looks like Rococo Rose. I don't think I've got any more of that left. This looks like Blackberry Bliss, or that could actually be, what's that called? Rich Razzleberry. But let me just go and dig out some cards and I'll see which one I'm going to go for. So I've decided to go with the yellow. I have bought new cardstock, but I want to get my scrap used up. So go with the yellow. So this is Bumblebee, and this needs to be, did have this measurement written down, 9 1/4 by 6 3/4. I've got a nice clean blade going on in my trimmer today. Just whips through this card in no time. And then on the long side, score at 4 3/4 and 7. Right, that's all we need to do with that. Fold that over and fold that over like that. So when you fold it, it's not in half, okay? So don't panic thinking you've done something wrong. It's not meant to be in half. We want this, okay? And what that's going to do is sit in there like that, but not yet. So it will sit in there and open up like that, okay? So just put both of those to one side. Now what we want is, this is where our circle is going to be. I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be a circle. I do think though that the circle looks better. And so for the circle that I use, it was just a tad under 3 inches. Put all my circles to one side. Oh, there it is. Still got bits of washi tape stuck to it after the last card I made. So here is my 3-inch circle. It's not exactly 3 inches, but it's about that. Yeah, it's just a tad under 3 inches. So we're going to put that on there. Now get it nice and central. Makes all the difference. So just have a little measure up. I think this worked out about 3/4 of an inch either side. It's not quite, just need to move that over a teeny tiny bit. Just take some time just to get it nice and even. I'm going to go with that. And then just a little piece of washi tape. I don't order washi tape. I think I just had some kicking about. It's not something I use other than for jobs like this. And don't stick it to the outside. Make sure it's stuck on the inside of the card. So it's not quite in the centre. You can have it in the centre if you want. There's no rules to say where it goes. I've just got mine there, but you could have it more in the centre if you want to. I don't think it'll work towards the bottom, but you know, no rules. Just put it where you want to. I'm happy with that. I'm going to run that now through my die cutting machine and I'll be back. So there we go. That's come out of there like that. Actually, that washi tape's come off quite nicely, so you could, if you wanted to. It's a great thing about washi tape. It tends not to tear it off. You could use that for something else if you wanted. But the next thing I'm going to do is just put that to one side. Oh, actually, I'm going to stick that to here. Let's do that first, and then I can just put it to one side to dry. Because we've got no card going on here. The more glue you've got going on, it's just going to start getting a bit floppy is the only word that I can describe it. I don't want floppy DSP. So I'm just going to stick that to my card. Now the issue that I have with this is that my die cutting machine is narrower than this. So it's got to go through like that. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. Actually, it didn't really cause too much of an issue. But I wanted to make a bigger card. I tend to make smaller cards, 4x6, and then it goes through the die cutting machine, but I just end up stopping making bigger cards because of that. So this one, slightly different, and I reckon the person that receives the card won't even notice it. Oh, I've got a bit of glue missing at the bottom there. Bear with me, I'm just going to put a little tad of glue down in that bottom corner. That's better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get my die back and put that in there like that. You can feel that it's in there, it doesn't move. And then with a pencil, just draw around that. It doesn't need to go all the way around. You're just going to fit the die back in there. Now let me show you what I'm going to do on the die cutting machine. I probably shouldn't have stuck that bit on there. Just realised what I've done. Right, so what I'm going to do is put that on there like that. I didn't actually need to do that. That's if I hadn't have stuck that down. So, because that can only go through my die cutting machine like that, I'm going to have to bring this over. And what it's going to do is indent that side. So I'm just going to put a bit of card inside just to stop that happening. So that's in there, that's not going anywhere. She says, that's not going anywhere. Let's get a bit of washi tape, just to be sure. Yeah, so don't worry about the drawing around it, not necessary. If you've got a wider die cutting machine, you could just do this all in one go. But when you haven't, you need to do things in a couple of stages. And, you know, my way isn't necessarily the right way. You know, just like all of us, learning all the time. People always leave me little tips and hints, which I really like. So don't hesitate to say, do you know what, Donna, you could have done it like that. So I'm going to put a shim of card in there and fold that over. And then run it through the die cutting machine. So we're back. So we've die cut that circle out. And it has left a bit of a mark, but to be honest, you can barely see it. You can there. Don't reckon anyone's going to look at the back of your card. And can't find my bone folder. I'm going to put that down somewhere. Just burnish that there. Okay, so the next bit is we're going to put this in here, and then we're going to make the circles that go in the middle. Okay, so that's going to go in there. So I'm using liquid glue for this just to give me that little bit of room to move it if I need to. I never get things down central first time. Oh, nearly dropped that because it's on it's got that fold in there. It's kind of trying to fold back on itself. So get that central. And then what we need to do is create another circle there, or layers of circles. And you want one that's just ever so slightly bigger than your window. So I've got a big scalloped circle here. So I've got that there, and it is just, oh no, that's the smaller one. I've got a bigger one here somewhere. There it is. No, actually that's... perhaps it is that one. No, it can't be. They've got a bigger one than that. I'm just going to go and find it. So there's my bigger scalloped die, and that is just slightly bigger than that. And what that's going to do, when I cut that out, it's going to sit in there so that when we close it, you'll be able to see that. So I'm going to first die cut that, I think, with that. Or do I want something that stands out a bit more, possibly? I'm going to go with that, I think. And, or actually we could go with that. Right, I'm going to die cut that out like that. And then I'm going to put some white card on there as well, and then stamp a sentiment. So I'll die cut this, and then the other thing that I'm going to do, because I've got this smaller die here, I was going to do it in a circle, but actually I'll die cut it with the smaller scallop circle and die cut that in white. I think I prefer white for a sentiment, so I'll just quickly go and do that. So I've kept the decoration super simple. You might just want to go just a little bit more courageous than me. I'm going to stick that on there like that, so that that will sit in there like that. So I think I need the Poppy Parade ink to stamp our sentiment. I'm using the Tranquil Thoughts stamp set purely because I love this. Wishing you a beautiful day. And I'm going to stamp that in Poppy Parade. Beautiful. Absolutely love that. And I'm going to put that onto my other scallop circle using dimensionals, because they are my favourite things to stick down stuff with. Now I'm starting to speed up a bit. My husband's just shouted to say that dinner is ready. So I'm just going to quickly get some dimensionals on these before I then glue this to my card. And we've got some measuring up to do. Now you can decorate this more lavishly if you want to. He's now really shouting that dinner's ready. So I'm just going to grab a couple of rhinestones. I've got these champagne ones here. So I'm going to put those on. It is a race against time before he calls me again. It's like, no, I've got this to do. I can't film it again. So put that on there, and then put that over, and then you just want to get that in the right spot. Open this up and make a very small mark here. And then I'm going to get my glue. Come on, glue. I haven't got time. There we go. Get my glue on there. your circle back on here. And then just hold that down while you wait for that glue to just grab. And then that fits over like that and fits perfectly. How pretty is that? I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. And I think probably what I'll do is maybe just do some stamping in the middle here. Might even just put a white piece of card on there with another sentiment. But I think that will look absolutely stunning on a shelf for a birthday. So I hope you like that. Thank you very much, Ice Images. Absolutely love that project, and thank you for the inspiration. I'll be back again soon with another project. I'll see you again later. Bye bye.